Okay, this is the third part of the series. The first part of the series was the creation of the avatars, or all the characters that are going to be in the movie. The second part was how to change them into a cartoonish way from 3D to a 2D. Okay. On the third part, it's the environment. So I was looking at all the props that I have. I have some props that are already populated with forests, and plants like bushes and flowers and things like that. But I decided to use a plane because one of the opening shots in the video, and we're going to be taking the original video of the series, Delicious and Dungeons, as a guideline to recreate a video, an animated video. Okay, so one of the ones that I found in regards to terrains, and this is a scene, an empty scene. Okay, this is a plane, and I can populate the plane with trees and bushes and flowers and rocks and things like that. I can recreate an environment. Okay, for an opening scene. This is one of them. I'm gonna show you another one. I'll be right back. This is pretty much another scene in which the avatars are walking on the street, and you have different kinds of vendors and people walking, adventures. Some people are people from the town. And of course, I'm going to have to populate all that. I'm going to have to work on making all the avatars, and populating the scene with people who are dressed in medieval clothing. So it's like medieval times. And I do have a folder for all medieval props and things, that I can use to recreate an environment. So this is one of the ones that I want to use for one of the shots. And I'll be right back. I'm going to show you another one. This is the other one that I wanted to show you. This is a city, and this is a prop scene. That's what I call them, okay, prop scenes. And the prop scenes, are populated with different kinds of buildings, or, parks or swimming pools and things like that. Or, you can have buildings. So we can use this one and use blocking, just probably make the avatars walk on this side or that side, of the street, or this side of the street, whatever, I still need to look for the kind of shot that I want to take. This is going to be a very small shot, and I'm going to show you in the movie, in the original series. It's not a movie, it's a series, an anime series of Delicious and Dungeons is called. So if you can see, we're going to recreate that scene in which you can actually see the avatars walking, on the streets. This one doesn't have any floors, so for the floors, I would recommend for you to actually Google that and try to find the images, and then just put them, as part of the floor or the ground or whatever, And I'm going to show you in the next scene what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, like I told you before, I was using the plane, which is the first one that I showed you, and then I populated that with trees and plants and rocks and bushes. And I had to put the prop, for the entrance of the dungeon. Since this is a toon shader, I'm going to show you some of the problems that you're going to find when using toon shader. You don't have any ability or the capability of manipulating the lightning. Okay, so you're gonna have to pretty much trick it, or use some of the packages that you have, like the LUTs, and I'm gonna show you what an LUT is, to change the kind of environment, the lighting of the environment. Like this one is a long shot, and it's an aerial view of the avatars walking towards the cave or towards the dungeon. Okay, and I'm placing all the avatars in the position in which they're going to be standing when they are going to be talking before entering the dungeon. This one doesn't come in the movie, or I'm gonna say movie, it's in the series. Okay, it doesn't come in the series, but I just put it as an addition. Okay, it didn't have to, but I just put it as an addition, and I'm gonna render this shot, and I'm gonna put it in the video. Okay, when making the video. So Now we're gonna go, let's go to the preview camera, and I'm gonna show you one of the problems that I found. Okay, first of all, the posture of the avatars, okay? I had to fix the posture, let me go over here to the the left-hand panel and select one of the avatars, okay? Because it's not easy to select them like that. Once you populate the scene, that's one of the problems with Iclone. When you try to pick one of the avatars, you are not able to, okay? So I had to fix the posture for the elf. I have not fixed the posture for the knight or the paladin. But if I select the paladin and then I go to the right hand panel to the animation tab, which is the second icon, and then I open the edit motion layer, okay, and then I select the waist or the hips, you know, of that, and then I can just push it a little bit to the top like this. Okay, something like that. Okay, something like that. Okay, that fixes the posture. Okay, so this posture is already fixed. I also had to fix the posture of the little thief or rogue, okay, that they have in their team. And let's do a long shot since they are walking towards the tangent to see how they're going to be walking, and it's going to be at 0 at frame 1. I'm going to say over here in the timeline, this is timeline, okay, the one at the bottom. So it's going to be at frame 1 to fix the entire posture. Make sure you're not somewhere over here because there's a lot of problem when that happens. So as you can see, the posture is fixed, okay? So those are fixes that you need to do when adding motions to the, and there's my camera. I love this, you know, because it's like watching the director, you know, telling the actors, you know, what to do, and you have to do it. So you have to add the motions and you have to work on the motions. You have to fix the postures of the avatar because they're not going to be, the motions when you put them in the avatars, you know, they're not going to be looking okay. Now this motion is not consistent. What I mean is that it's repeated and it's in the same place. It doesn't actually move forward. And because it doesn't move forward, I have to actually make a displacement of the avatar from the starting point to the end point where I wanted it to be, okay? And I had to make sure there's no sliding of the feet. Even though if we do blocking, and blocking is like how you want the shot, whether you want a long shot. If you want a long shot, then you have to take care of the posture, you have to take care of the sliding of the feet so that they looks natural, you know, like they're walking naturally. But if you do a close-up, you know, a short shot, then you don't have to worry about that, you know. And if you're not going to be like putting the entire avatar, the entire body of the avatar, if you're just going to do a shot of the upper body, you know, let's say from the waist up, then you don't have to worry about the feet, okay? So in regards to details for the avatars, you don't have to worry about details like all the feet are sliding, you know, or is walking too fast. Because if you're going to be doing like a shot like this one, you don't have to worry about those things, okay? You just have to make sure that that part of the scene is going to be looking okay. So let me go to one of the cameras. That's the aerial view, okay? Gonna use I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, it's like this one. This is a short shot, okay? So as you can see, it's following the avatar, so I don't have to worry about really too many things like the sliding of the feet and probably even the posture. I did fix the posture, you know, for the paladin, so I'm gonna save it because I already fixed it. But I just wanted to show you that when you work in the environment, you see all the trees. The trees, I put the trees over there, okay? The trees were not included. This is the landscape, the first landscape that you saw, and I populated the landscape, okay? So that's how I ended up with this scene looking like that, okay? I put some like this rock. I could put a little bit more rocks around, maybe a little bit of flowers, you know, bushes, you know, just to do something quick, you know, and to make it look like it's in the forest. I put some of the bushes and I made sure to put some other trees, you know, around here, you know. And the cave is a prop, the shade, because we are into shader and you don't have the way to manipulate the lightning like I told you before. You don't have this shadow. Okay, this shadow is an effect, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to amplify the screen real fast, and I'm going to show you the shadow effect is this blue pick. Okay, this the shadow for the back and the shadow for the front. The shadow for the front is a vertical pick. Okay, it's just a pick. Okay, and I'm going to hide it. Okay, I hit it already, and you can clearly see the back, and you can see it's pretty much the landscape. Okay, now if I hide the other one, the one for the back, now you can see the landscape. Okay, I actually had to get rid of the wall of this cave because this one had a wall. So if it had a wall, you would still see rock. Okay, but I had to hit that, so I hit the wall, and we're gonna look around the cave. This is the dungeon entrance, so we're going to go around the dungeon entrance so that you can see the prop. Okay, as you can see, this one has the stairs, and I'm going to hide the landscape. Okay, the terrain, we're going to hide the terrain. Okay, hiding the terrain, you can see that I added the stairs, so we go over here and hide the stairs. We're going to hide them. Okay, as you can see, that's what it is. Okay, and the floor is just a pic that I Google. It's not that I don't have the floor. I do have floors, but in my case, you know, because I don't have everything in one folder to look at, I think it was easier for me just to Google that and just get the image. Okay, and put it over here. All right, so that's how pretty much everything looks like. If you want to replicate an image or even an avatar, you just select. We're gonna replicate the avatars. Okay. Let's go like this. Just give me a second. I'm gonna try to do this as fast as I can, you know, because I don't want that tutorial to take a long time. Okay, so we're gonna select Laios, and then we're gonna select over here at the top this cross. Okay, and then pressing the Control key in your keyboard and the left button of your mouse, I'm sorry, you can actually move the avatar, you know, pressing those two keys. I mean those buttons, you know, the Control key and the left button of your mouse, and you can make a copy of the avatar, and it's gonna even have the movement, you know, you see. Anyways, but just wanted to show you that that's how I replicated the trees and the bushes and everything. So I didn't have to drop each part, you know, in the scene. I just dropped it once and then I just replicated. Okay. So anyways, we're gonna go back to where we were before. Okay, we need one more. There you go. Because I already fixed the position, the posture of the lighting, and that's pretty much how you start working the environment. Okay, and then you put your avatars, you put the motions in the avatars. Now, some of the things that you need to fix in the avatars, and with this, I'm gonna finish this tutorial, is that the attire of the avatars are not gonna be behaving their best. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay, let's look at the elf. Okay, I love the attire of the elf. However, you see this pouch over here, or this bulge? It's bulging out, okay? And it's bulging out because there's a deformation, because it's a toonish body, and the toonish body doesn't get along very well with the attires for one avatar that is very proportional. Okay, and that's one of the problems. So I have a lot of attires, however I cannot use them in the avatars that are toonish, because the proportions of the body are exaggerated. Okay, like a narrow waist and very big hips and big legs, you know, and the thighs, you know, are thicker. So there's a deformation already in the body to make it look toonish, and the attire is going to deform. So I'm going to have to change the attire for the elf. Unfortunately, you know, because I really love this attire, you know. The original one in the series has pants, And I actually dressed this one with pants and kind of like the elf, in the series, but I didn't like it. It looked a little manly to me and not like a lady, and that's why I wanted it to the avatar to look more like a lady, and that's why I used the long dress. But I'm gonna have to change the attire. I really love this attire. Another thing that I have is the problems with the hair. Okay, because the hair was tunnish and everything was fine. As you can see, you see this one right here. This one is not in the place it's supposed to be at. Okay, this is a ribbon. Okay, the ribbon was supposed to be right here at the root of the hair. Okay, right here, and it's not. That's another problem. So I'm gonna have to get rid of the ribbon in Character Creator. I had to use the hair elements, and which is better, than the Tunish one. The Tunish one is because the hair looks Tunish, and I really like that kind of hair with a ponytail. But I had to change the hair. If you see the other two videos, you see that the hair is Tunish. This one is not Tunish; it's more realistic. Okay, but it's fine. I had to do the entire thing again, and I'm gonna have to delete that. Okay, I'm gonna have to send it to Character Creator and delete it, because even though I placed it in the right place, because this one is actually at the base of the ponytail, when I transfer this into Iclone, this is some of the problems that you find. In the attire and the hair and some of the accessories, that you may have for hairs and things like that, is not gonna be in the right place. So that's going to be a disappointment for you, and then you're going to have to go back to Character Creator and delete those things or put something else and put them back into Iclone to see if they are going to respect the place, in which they were positioned at. In this case, it's not, so I'm going to have to change that again. I changed the hair again, and I'm going to have to change the attire of the entire avatar. But anyways, this is the third part, which is the environment. And to make the environment tunish, you have to select each part of them, because I actually change the tree, and the tree selected. So we go to the materials section, and as you can see, I added a glow. I had to make sure all these are in white. Not all the time they don't have to be in white. That's up to you. You need to learn how to use these, like the ambient color and everything like that. The ambient color can make it a little bit darker if you wanted it to be like a little bit darker over here. And then the self-illumination, the specular and the glossiness up to all the way to 0, the self-illumination all the way to 100. I had to do that for the props, even for the cave, to make it look more tunish, a little bit brighter. So the cave also has, has a change in the parts. In this case, we have different textures, so you have to press the shift key and then with the left button of the mouse select all of them, and then select the base color. You go down and make sure all these are white. You can add a glow. I did not add a glow here. I left it as it is, and self-illumination all the way up. The glossiness, I did not lower the glossiness. The glossiness has to be all the way down. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. In this case, I didn't have to, because there's no any whitish color in the texture of the cave. But if there was any, I would need to do that. I would need to lower it all the way down. Let me see. Am I actually at the entrance of the cave, or am I choosing something else? Yeah, it's the dungeon entrance. So that's pretty much what you need to do. Okay, and the picks for the shade. Let me show you one last thing, and I'm gonna finish this tutorial, because this in regards to the environment, because in Toon Shader you cannot manipulate the lighting. You cannot do that. Okay, so over here we go to the visual tab on the left hand panel. Is the third tab from top to bottom, the visual tab, and then we go to the fourth icon, okay, which is like a folder. And if you press on this, you should have the LUTs. These are the LUTs. If you don't have the package, you're going to have to buy it, okay? Like if I wanted to make it at nighttime, okay, then I'm going to have to apply this blue color over here. And it's like night, okay? Like if they are arriving in the dungeon at nighttime, okay? So there it goes. I can manipulate that, because I can lower the level, okay, the intensity of how much I want of that. If I want it a little bit darker or not, I can move the intensity, okay? I don't want that. You can use multiple LUTs, okay? There's one, I can use this kind of green color. It looks horrible, but just to bring the green color of the trees, and then I just lower the intensity as well. You know, if I lower it all the way down, you see it's a different look. But if I put a little bit of this, not much, you know, then it's gonna give me a different kind of look. Okay. If I want to put this one right here, okay, and then lower it as well, something like that, you know, then that's the way you manipulate the environment in regards to lighting. Another way to do it, and that's a tutorial that I made a couple of years ago. It's with filters, okay? You have the camera, and in front of the camera you put an image that is a color, like it could be blue, it could be yellow, red, whatever color you want, and then you pretty much attach it to the camera lens, okay? And since it's covering the lens, it's going to give that kind of color to the entire scene. And then you can lower the opacity of the image. You can look for that tutorial so that you know what I'm talking about, because I do have that tutorial. It's somewhere in my tutorials. I'm not going to tell you where exactly, but it is there, you know. And then you can manipulate the light, you know, that is in the scene. And with this, I finish this tutorial in regards to environment. You have to change everything to toonish. You have to put your avatars. You have to give emotions. The fourth tutorial is going to be about rendering all the scenes. We're going to be rendering the scenes, and then we're going to start putting together the scenes to create the video, okay? And since I already have the video from the series, I'm just going to follow the video as a guideline. I already have the audio from the series. I hope that YouTube is not going to block, you know, this video for copyright material for the audio, even though the video is not going to be the same, but the audio is going to be the same. So I might be blocked, you know. I hope I'm not. If I'm not, you know, then you're going to be able to watch the video, you know. But if I am blocked, I'm going to have to look for another way, you know, to do it. Probably I'm just going to run the video without the audio, which is terrible, you know, because then you're not going to be able to see what's happening or to hear what's happening. But anyways, you know, we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching.